Welcome everyone to yet another Tiki Trail Live. We are marching our way to episode 100. Can you believe that? 100 flipping episodes. Tonight we're at like 94, I think is what I said earlier. So 94, episode 94. Whew, man. I don't feel that old. Well, sometimes I do, but not right now. Any rate, Jeff Ballard here, your host, as I am every week for the last 94 episodes, taking you through some really cool adventure, virtual, online tiki stuff. We started this show way back when, during the beginning of the pandemic. Like, I think that's all we remember is pandemic time. So yeah, if you remember all the way back when, we started this as a way for everybody to get together, for artists to come on, be able to still reach out to the communities, for mixologists to still engage, to do pour-alongs. We all could still drink. We all were drinking a lot, and we contributed to it here at Tiki Trail, and bring everybody together, musicians and everyone. And what I really thought was cool is we're going this strong, this long, but we actually bring in people from everywhere. And tonight's episode is a prime example of that. Tonight, we've got another great lineup. Sam's done a bang up job. We have, starting us off in our pour along session, we have Tim Harnett from Tiki Undergound in Cuyahoga Falls, AKA Cleveland, in that whole area. He's come back. He's going to be doing a Gaelic Grog because, fun trivia fact, today is National Irish Coffee Day. You all know how much I love coffee, and that's why we're doing an Irish whiskey drink, not a coffee drink. Sorry. But this is going to be a great drink. I'm excited. Hopefully you got the ingredients, because we do post the ingredients onto all of our social media pages. So if you haven't gotten it, Sam will put it into the chat, so you'll be able to get it here. You can also go to, if you're watching on YouTube, you can go to Tiki Trail on Facebook, and you can go to Tiki Trail on Instagram to be able to get the recipe for the drink we're making tonight, or you can write it all down while you're watching the video. Either way, so Tim's going to be taking us through that. He's also going to be talking about a pop-up he's doing here in Indianapolis at the awesome, most impressive Inferno Room. So looking forward to that. We'll be talking about that and what he's going to be doing. Then, remember how I said this show kind of brings people together from everywhere? Well, we're going from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way to Maui, Hawaii. We're going to go out to Maui for Maui Anthony. He's going to play us some really cool tunes, get us into that nice vibe while we enjoy our cocktail, our Irish Gaelic Grog. And after Maui Anthony plays his tunes for us, then we're going to go south, like way south, all the way down under to Sydney, Australia, and talk with Danielle from Daisy Jean Designs. So that's going to be pretty cool. She's our featured guest for tonight. Then we go into our Makani Marketplace. And tonight, 3 great artists, once again. And again, they're from all over the place. We have Gutter Goods out of Whittier, California, Toy Sculpt out of Sebastopol. I have never heard of Sebastopol, California. So I've got to ask, did I even say it right? We'll go from there. And then we are going to go, ironically, right back to where it all started in Cleveland, to Sik Rik Masks. Rick Fisher, who is from Akron, Ohio area. We're going to finish off our show with him tonight. So that's our lineup. That's what we're going to be doing. And for those of you on the show, we do stick around afterwards, hang out, chit chat in an after hours. So hope you join us for that. Those of you on YouTube, you got to join us live every Tuesday night, same time, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. And we always do an after hours, and we have a lot of fun with it. So join us, do join us. All right. So with that, I'm going to do this. Let's go over to Tim Harnett. Let me bring you up, sir. All right. Tonga Tim, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Great to be back. How are you?
I feel like that old song, welcome to the show, the show that never, what was that? Jethro Tull song. Yeah. I am doing good, although I have to say, last time you were on the show, we talked about the Midwest and the tiki culture. You never reminded me of how damn cold it is here. And I wish you would have done that because it's flipping cold here.
Well, that's why we so desperately need bars like ours.
Exactly. And the Inferno Room, I'm excited. It looks like I'll probably be there tomorrow night or tomorrow or Thursday. I'm getting there this week. You are doing, normally you're at Tiki Underground, and you guys are closed right now for a remodeling. I remember, no, a relocation, correct?
Correct. And a very, very major remodel. Actually, the space, it was pretty much an old man bar where you'd go to get shots and beers and a $10 steak. And they hadn't cleaned the cigarettes out of the carpet for, well, probably since it was built. So we're gutting the place and really pouring our hearts into the decor, kind of going more nautical this time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're excited.
I got to tell you, because you said you guys are going to be closing the night before Thanksgiving. That was your last night.
Correct.
And I was sitting there Wednesday morning and I go, am I crazy enough to make that drive? And I looked up how long it was going to take. It's like, I could be. And then, sanity got the better of me. And I said, no, I'm going to have to miss it. So hopefully that was a good night.
Well, so I think the staff and some close friends left the building at 3. So yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah,
Total blowout. We had a great band and filled the place. It was wonderful.
And by the way, and the other thing I want to make sure, so I'm going to bring my spotlight back in here because I also wanted to say you have this amazing book as well. You had shared, yeah, there you go. Look at that. You got one too. How amazing. This is the No Beard or Bow Tie Required Cocktails for the Craft Curious. So excellent book. Glad that I got it. Thanks for your inscription. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you got a couple things going on. And then tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, that's me tomorrow night. You are coming to the Inferno Room to do a pop-up.
That is correct. I'm so stoked about this. Apparently, me and my partner in crime, Jessica, will be taking over the back room. So we will be holding court in there. I think I sent Chris 6 of our signature cocktails we'll be doing there.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm very, very excited about that.
So what I'm hearing is I need to go to Uber right now and make that reservation because 6 cocktails, I don't know that I'll be able to drive home, but yeah, I got to try them all,
Some of them are in the book. So, and in fact, tonight's cocktail is in the book as well. So yeah.
All right. So, before we get into that cocktail, so how did this little collaboration come about with the Inferno Room?
Well, we made our maiden voyage there about a year ago. Had a great time with Chris, gave us a grand tour. And after that, we just kept in touch. And I was like, well, we're going to have a little downtime. And I know Porco's been out there. Can we come and wreck up the place too? And he graciously said yes. He sounds very well prepared for our visit. So yeah, I'm excited. Well, any excuse to go there is great.
Yeah, this is if those of you that haven't been to the Inferno Room, I fell in love with the place the first time I was ever in there. It's not that it's just because it's from Indy, but it's a lot of authentic Papua New Guinea decor. The story goes there was an Indiana University professor that was studying that culture, a social studies. He was studying that culture, and as a result of his friendships and the years of being in that environment, he had a lot of Papua New Guinea stuff. And when he passed away, I don't know the full story, I just know when he passed away that one way or another all of that collection made its way to the owners of the Inferno Room, and they put a lot of it into the Inferno Room. So some really cool decor that they've gotten there.
Yeah, that is cool. Kind of keeping it in the family, as they say. like Porco and our bar as well have benefited from families sharing their, artifacts with us. So it helps keep the history alive in a new place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, in a sad way. Right before the pandemic hit, I had actually put together a session that I was going to do at the Hukilau call, and it was really focused on the artifacts within the tiki bars, because we all look at the drinks, we all listen to the music, we love the decor, but the decor almost melds into the background. And there's a lot of cool stuff when you start digging into what's actually there and the history of some of these pieces. So hopefully we'll be able to do that at some point. But at any rate, you, sir, are here to mix up a cocktail for us tonight.
This is correct. And it's kind of serendipitous. When Samantha reached out, I hesitated a little because I didn't have anything like right up here right away to present on. And when the Irish whiskey, Irish coffee thing came up, I was like, oh, holy mackerel, I can talk a lot about that, surprisingly. So yeah, I'm ready to dive in on this one. Is everyone okay if I talk a little bit about the whiskey for just a little bit? It's a kind of a warm up.
Things we love to do, learn and drink.
Yes.
There's probably a few other things too, but those are the only two I'm going to mention on the show.
So I don't know how many of you are of the same thinking, but Irish whiskey, I feel like it kind of got a bad rap when, I guess you could say it about any spirits that hadn't really had a renaissance yet. So pretty much whatever popped to mind when someone brought up those two words was Jameson or Powers, and doing shots just to, forget harder times. And essentially that was true for a while, until not only the big distillers started out bringing more specialized spirits out, but then smaller distilleries kind of started re-emerging in Ireland. So I don't know how far back you might know about this stuff, but Prohibition almost killed the Irish whiskey industry because so much of it was being exported to the States. So only a couple of them survived. Now we have a bunch of little ones that are kind of coming back and doing like a smaller batch kind of contribution to the whole genre. So the Irish whiskey thing, they're super big on pot still, pretty much across the board. So you're going to have all those yummy congeners that you want. But further to that, a lot of these distillers are getting into secondary barrel aging. So I went out and bought rather a lot of them.
Nice.
And I
Oh, I like you.
buy you.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, these are just a few. I brought up about half. So I'll just appeal to the Tiki files straight away. So Teeling, they're one of the newer brands out at least in Ohio. Really like super smooth stuff, and they are doing secondary barrel aging in rum barrels. Slane, which I called this one out for the cocktail tonight. You can pretty much use any affordable, well-rounded Irish whiskey in the drink. This just happens to be like a $26 bottle in Ohio, and they're doing triple casking. I believe they're going with port and sherry. How they're charging so little for it, I have no idea. Sexton, I mean, if the bottle isn't sexy enough, they are also doing sherry barrel aging. This is about 36, I believe. Super good stuff. Fairly new arrival, Writer's Tears. And now that I've written a book, I can cry and drink this.
There you go. Nice.
So this is a like really light bodied. It's almost like a light bodied apple brandy, at least in the finish. But again, very super easy drinker. And then one of the examples of like the good stuff the big boys are putting out, this Powers 3 Swallows. You don't have to have tattoos to like it. It helps. But again, they're doing barrel aging in sherry. Really, really tasty stuff. So yeah, so when St. Patrick's Day came around this past year, I basically was trying to come up with something that we could do. I mean, obviously, people aren't pouring into a tiki bar for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, believe me, no, I did, because all the crazies were at the Irish bars.
Okay, yeah. Well, we typically, like, at least in our old location, we didn't typically get a lot of people, but we wanted to create something that for those that were joining us that night. So basically, I just kind of put this together from what we had in the bar at the time. So obviously, it's going to be an Irish whiskey base. So tonight we'll go ahead with the Slain.
Well, it's kind of like a St. Patrick's Day pregame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll start with the NA stuff first, as any good mixologist will tell you to do. So you're adding that little bit, half, 3/4 of lime to round out everything else. This is actually a little sweeter than I normally go. Some cinnamon syrup, easy peasy to make at home. So again, 1/2 ounce, 3/4, depending how you like your sweetness. A little bit of nut brown bitters. So I'm using the Bitter Truth, but these are a lot more easy to find. The Fee Brothers Black Walnut, a lot cheaper too. Just made with glycerin if you're real geeky about your bitters.
Wait, that's not nitroglycerin, right?
The glycerin they put in soap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even more appetizing. Thank you.
I mean, they taste okay. And on the plus side, if you're doing an NA cocktail menu, then you can use Fee Brothers and still be, fully truthful about that. Right. So let's go with the modifier spirits first. I called out Velvet Falernum in this, in the recipe, specifically because it is the most accessible, and it does run a little bit sweeter. If you are lucky enough to have like a local craft distiller that does a Falernum spirit like Maggie's Farm, it's going to be far superior, but harder to find based on where you're at. So
yeah, I was going to say, how far are you from Pittsburgh? They're from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, so they're about 2 hours out.
Yeah,
and they're being sold in Ohio now, thankfully. I know some other craft distillers are doing it. I think like California, maybe. And it's usually worth the extra expense. Bitter Truth puts one out. It's actually a low proof spirit. If you see it, it's really, really lovely. Then you need a 1/2 ounce of brandy. I just happened to grab the Martell Cognac because it was close. And then, of course, your base spirit. So you can do 1.5 ounces. I called for 1 3/4. You can go up to 2, depending on how much you want to forget.
Well, I like the fact you're using the Falernum that's also a spirit, so that works.
It's a sneakily boozy drink, actually. So of course you give it your traditional shake. 20 seconds, so something like that. My form's off a little bit because I have way too many bottles up here to knock over.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, don't knock them. That would be bad form.
Strain it over ice.
And I see Joseph. Yeah, definitely get to the Inferno Room the next time you're out here. And when you do, let me know. I'm here, man. I'll meet up with you for some cocktails. Any excuse to go to the Inferno Room.
Just a simple mint garnish. Very, very nice aromatics for this, or just as it goes with a Mai Tai or most traditional tiki drinks. And if you happen to have a funky fresh Inferno Room glass with an Inferno Room swizzle, all the better. So if anyone's shaking along, I would love your thoughts on this.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to put it on the old gallery mode. everybody raise up the glasses and salute to yet another week, episode 93, 94. See, I forget. Yeah. And thank you, Tim. Mahalo, and appreciate everyone who joins every week. Thank you for making this a great experience. And so that's awesome. The date of your pop-up again is February
3rd, I believe, the Thursday of that week. And then we're straight off to Cincinnati to do one at Tiki Bang Bang.
That's like next week, February 3rd. All right.
It's a busy week. So we're off to Inuhuele down in Atlanta.
Yep.
This coming weekend, and then very little breathing time at home before we head out again.
Now, if you'd have planned that right, wouldn't you have gone to Cincinnati and then Inulele? Wouldn't you have done that on the trip either down or back to Atlanta?
Well, we're going to fly for Atlanta.
Okay.
The rest is all behind the wheel, but I will have my book at both events, all three, actually.
All right. And how can we get the book? I think Sam may have put the link in the chat, but still, let's go ahead and.
Yeah, it is in the Tiki Underground site in our store section. So you can order it direct through there. But if anyone can make it to Inferno Room, I'd love to be there and sign it for you.
And yeah, next Thursday night, I will be there, and I may actually be broadcasting live. I may do a live.
Cool.
It's been so long since I've done a live remote broadcast. So I'm pretty excited about that. Cool. So thank you for joining. Definitely appreciate you. This is an awesome cocktail. I can't wait to try it. Sorry, as I tell all my mixologists, all my stuff's in storage, and I'm literally sitting at a folding table right now. If you could see this, it's a horrendous scene. I can't bring cocktails here. So this is one of the cocktails I'm really anxious to try as soon as we have our new house and we're in our new house. It's probably gonna be one of the first ones I make. I love a good grog, so this is awesome. Yeah, Sam put the link to your book into the chat. Tiki-Underground, myshopify.com. So we got.
Incidentally, I can, since it is Irish Coffee Day, just thinking about it right here, if you put some cold brew in it, I see no reason that wouldn't be equally amazing.
Okay, we can no longer be friends now, and you are never invited back on the show. I think we've had a couple of coffee drinks on the show. I skip right past that ingredient. So. Coffee and licorice are not my thing.
I did dismiss Irish coffee as kind of a gross drink until I got the Dead Rabbit recipe for it. And that is a pretty magic thing. It's only 4 ingredients, and if you do it right, it's really, really tasty. So for what it's worth, I digress.
Well, then I would say if you love it, make sure you go to the new Tiki Underground when it opens, or go to the Inferno Room. Well, you may not be able to do it at the Inferno Room, but find Tim, because he makes great cocktails. So thank you very much joining us tonight. Tonga Tim, Tiki Underground, and author of the book, No Beard or Bow Tie Required, Cocktails for the Craft Curious. That's a long title, dude. That's why I have to keep looking over here at the title.
It is. Yeah. The next one is No Pants Required. I'm not joking.
Okay.
I've started it. Yeah. I'm working on it now.
All right. Well, I look forward to having you back when you complete that. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you coming on the show. All right. So now we've got our cocktails in hand. We're going from the frozen tundra that is Cleveland out to Maui. That's where we need to go. It's real easy to find the guy from Maui. That's all I got to say. He's the one with all the greenery in the background. And yeah, there you go. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you guys doing? How are you doing?
Not as good as you are. You are on Maui. Good on you. So tell us, born and bred, or did you just get smart and move there?
Yeah, I was born and raised. Luckily, my parents got smart before I was born, and they moved here about a year before I was born. But
nice.
I've always been here in Kihei, and yeah, I can't complain. Except it's our summer's like 8 months long, and then our winter's like fall for maybe 3 months.
Yeah. Now,
Life's not
was,
on
was
any-
this was the snow in Maui? Because I know recently you guys had snow in Hawaii, and people were freaking
There was some snow in Mauna Kea, not yet on Haleakala yet, not yet on Maui, but
Okay.
there was snow on Hawaii Island, Mauna Kea, and Mauna Loa, a couple months ago. But
All
yeah,
right.
so,
Well, if you
yeah.
want, I can send you some snow. We have a lot around here. I happy to send some.
Oh, I love some of that.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, and then you're gonna get the chance here to warm up the crowd with some tunes, man.
Cool. All right, I would like to start off with an original song called "Island Love," and a medley of that, and a song called "Iala Maluna," and these are both originals off my latest album I have one of. This is what it looks like, and it's an all original album that I created in 2020 when there wasn't any public performances to do, and I was bored and needed to do something with my music. So I recorded that album in Oahu with Dave Tucherone, and I've been playing those songs since then, and having a good time now, enjoying the resurgence of music once again in the world. So that's great. And this is a song for are you guys any lovers in the house or anything like that? And the next song is called Iala Maluna, which is called Mele Aina, Mele Aloha Aina, which is a song to protect the land, to promote the resurgence of Hawaiian culture through music, hula, and all this culture that you guys are a part of and everything. And it's just a way that we can all join together to protect the land that protects us is the idea of that song. It's my first song in Aloha Hawaii. It's original music, my latest release, We Will Rise. This is Island Love. See her shadow in the morning sunlight, see your beauty in the golden sky, hear your voice like the evening tide. Your love spots me like the ocean and the sky. All I see is you. All I feel is us two. You're my island love. I've been around you for a little while now. Your love still shines brighter than the sun rays in my heart. Boy, I don't see where we're going next. Through our darkest days, I know we'll make the crest. All I see is you. All I feel is us two. You're my island love. Don't let me go. I'm not creep along your bed. Let's see where the light takes us. Lost picture. Follow the river down to the coastline and back again. From Maui to Makani, where the ocean meets the sky. You're my island love. I can always hear your voice inside. I can still feel your heartbeat in mine. I can't touch your skin and make you smile. Love will make it back in time, and I'll be here all around. All I see is you. All I feel is us. You're my island. Kahia poa ka mulilo ana hoana o Hawaii boy got Ilani ka koloha Ilani ka koi kamana o Hawaii Iola Eleva yuka e pika Makaina kua iwi makaina polia pule Iola Mai kahia poa kamulilo na wahana o Hawaii ne Ala maluna ala kako kako iwi E kuka po tapu Namoku kaula na ika veku Namoku kaula na momo na nui E ola E lewa yuka e pika veku Makaina kua iri makaina poli a kue E ola Mai kahia poa kamilo na wahana o Hawaii ne Ala maluna ala kako no kako iane E kuka po tapu O kahina ka hana o Hawaii Ui puna na makua me na tiki Ala me kolu mauna e mole vena Iola Mai kahia poa kamulilo ana Ohana o Hawaii ne Ala maluna ala kako no kako iane E kuka po kapu
Awesome.
Thanks, man. Mahalo. I started out playing here around 10, 11 years ago, and it's been so much fun. I never really tried to do it, or wanted to do it, or thought about doing it professionally, but then it just kind of blossomed into that, and I really have enjoyed playing throughout Maui and a little bit in California and throughout the West Coast. And I hope to return soon in April. I'm hoping to get a tour together. But here's some ukulele music. This is my first instrument. I learned the slaki guitar from my mentor, Uncle George Kahamoku Jr. It's actually his birthday today, if you know of Uncle George. It's his birthday, so wish him happy birthday, Facebook or whatever. But he's one of my biggest mentors, so I really appreciate all his aloha and mentorship throughout the years. But this is another song of my latest album. If you're interested in the CDs, I have some on the website, mauianthony.com. But anyway, this is one called Let Your Love Grow. Spreading love and positivity everywhere I go. No matter where you're on, you reap what you sow. You are the ocean, the way to flow. Feel its vibration. Let your love grow. Let your love grow. So many of our children cry for reasons that they can't control. And many of our people dying before their lives can unfold. We only got one life, as far as we know. And the gun shooting sound the ending note. We got to be the change we're seeking. Gotta love without reason. Spread love and positivity everywhere. soul. My pieces fall, but let go. Stop holding on to things of the past. Relax, let your love go. Let your love go. Let your love go. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Freaking awesome. So this is the applause that you get when it's on Zoom. Everybody has to do this because everybody's on mute. We wanted to hear your music.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude. Seriously, that was awesome.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
So let me get this straight. So while the rest of us were just sitting around drinking and shopping, you actually made something of yourself during the pandemic and created a CD, made this amazing music that you're playing now. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on the songs like before the pandemic, like the past 5 years, but that's when I finally had the time to go and record it. I didn't have an excuse, so. And yeah,
I'm glad
yeah,
you've made something of yourself, man, during the pandemic. That's awesome. Absolutely beautiful music. I have already downloaded your album. You're out on all the platforms. But like we do this with all the artists, you can download the CDs and that's great. You guys get money, they get money from it, but buy the CD from them. So go to the website. Sam's got it in the link here. Very easy to buy, and you'll get that music. That's incredible, dude.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And hope you guys enjoyed your cocktails. I'm glad I could provide a little entertainment for that. That looked like a awesome recipe.
Oh yeah, it does look very nice. I can't wait to try that out. So now when you come over to the mainland, where are you mostly in California when you're touring around, or do you kind of hit other cities, or other cities in your plans?
Yeah, definitely California. I'd like to, branch out to other cities, just looking for, any kind of connections with that because yeah, I'm pretty, working on California, but kind of, little by little, hope to move my way to back east as well. So see what comes up, but hoping to seek some things out for later in the year for sure.
Well, there are some awesome bars here in the Midwest, so
Cool.
I hope we can get you out here to the Midwest because that is we need that. That is awesome music. Thank you for joining.
Cool. Thank you. Really awesome. All right. Aloha.
All right, aloha. Oh my gosh, that's probably one of my all-time favorites there that we've had. That was really cool. Hopefully you enjoyed that as well. And like I said, get out to the chat, follow the link, and you can go buy the CDs. All right, so now we've had our cocktail, we've had our music. Now, and we've been sunning in Hawaii, luxuriously listening to that music. Now we're going to head down south to Australia. And Danielle, if you can go ahead and unmute, I'm going to bring you into the picture here. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am doing really good. I always love having our Australian folks on because I just love your guys' accent. It's great.
I don't hear it. And I always get confused as being English by people that visit Australia.
Oh,
So-
yeah. I know. And I actually lived in South Africa for a while. And there are people that they confuse the South African, Australian, and English accents. But nope, I hear it. And I have a little cheat sheet that says you're in Sydney, Australia. So it was kind of an easy guess there.
It is, yes. It's right in the capital. It's very sunny today. So we're in the height of here.
And I love the shirt you're wearing because it's like all the American cities. It's like your own little Tiki Trail shirt. That is a Tiki Trail shirt. Man, that's awesome.
I actually got it made by a US woman that makes vintage designs and stuff, and I had it shipped over. So I love the fabric. I was like, I need that as a shirt. So I was really maybe one.
Yeah, I need to get one of those. And Tiki Trail, that's what it's all about. It's going to all those different places and checking out the tiki bars. So you, ma'am, are in Sydney, Australia, and you are with Daisy Jean Designs. Amazing stuff. And I have to say, the first time when I did a search, I came up on some other different Daisy Jean or something, and I'm going, why did Sam book this person? Oh, maybe I should follow the link. And it took me to your site. So, and then as soon as I saw your site, I'm going, oh my gosh, this is some really cool stuff that you're making.
Thank you. I've actually got some here to show you guys while I talk. So
yeah, so I'm going to show that, and we want to understand kind of what brought you to this point in making this kind of stuff, and understand more about your background.
So I'm actually administration trained, but found administration really boring. I'm super creative. I used to draw a lot in my free time. When I found retro fashion in my early 20s, I discovered brooches. And in my personal collection, excluding designs I've made for myself, I have about 450 that I've got from other people. So it started as my own personal kind of obsession. And then I was like, well, I like these so much, why don't I learn to make them myself? So I taught myself graphic design over a space of probably 2 years to be able to make them myself, because it's not really something that was being done at the time. So there wasn't like a website that was a cheat sheet of this is how you make brooches or this is how you make a story. It was still very kind of gatekept by the people that knew how to do it. So 2 years of trial and error, had a few collections go absolutely nuts, and basically had to quit my day job because my demand was too big to manage. So that was 6 years ago now. So yeah.
Yeah, you have quite a following.
I know I was doing retro styling influencing first on my main page before I started Daisy Jean, and then it kind of all bled across. So it's been a really nice intermingling as well.
So are you finding people from that like the mid-century modern? Is that where people are coming from? The retro mid-century modern?
A lot of retro people wear brooches, even though we do other things like necklaces and earrings. Brooch definitely the biggest seller for us, and a lot of people are people that dress in retro style clothing. Yeah.
Now, I've always thought it's unfair that you women have these really cool brooches, and some of them I've seen, I'm like, oh my God, that's really cool. And I've either turned them into, or they turned them into hat fobs for us guys. So do you have hat fobs in is that something we could do?
No, but we actually have quite a few male brooches in the community here in Australia where they'll wear them on their lapels or on their jackets.
Okay.
There's quite a few of them that wear brooches down in Australia that are men.
Oh,
and they do.
All right, I'll trust you on that one. I would keep mine on my hat. Well, not this hat, but yeah, I have them on. Wear them on my hats. Hat fobs.
I've seen some people, women wear them on turbans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll put turban on and then they'll pin it on the turban. So that's always a good way. We've seen them on bags. It's got a block pin, so you can stick it anywhere you kind of want to.
Yeah, so let's see some of the stuff you have.
All right, so we do a big mix. We have over, I think we worked it out, 66 collections that are always available, and that rounds out to just over 500 pieces. So we do a monthly collection, which is generally a popular culture kind of collection. So in the past, we've done Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Labyrinth. Our Labyrinth release was very popular, Addams Family. And then we do a mini monthly release, which are ongoing themes. So one of those themes we have is popular figures, which do old favorites like Samantha from Bewitched.
Yes. Yes.
She also has Andorra to match her, and we have Jeannie in her bottle.
Now in Australia, you pass that off as Nicole Kidman brooch. Is that how that works?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
We've got Lucy.
Ah, so, nice.
Steel Ball, Greta, so Greta Garbo. And then we do, so some of our more main releases, which are our fun ones. So this was a like candy release. So Sugar Rush it was called. So this is an ice cream truck necklace that we did. So if I hold it up.
Oh, nice. Does it play the song too? The little ice cream truck song?
We actually have an old ice cream truck that comes through our complex where we live, and I hear it all the time. So earrings, little ice cream cones. We actually do have a martini glass. I looked through because I wasn't sure if we did, but we do. It was from one of our Halloween collections.
Oh, very nice.
Was a kind of witchy zombie martini that we did. And then we do releases as well, which are more generic. So we've done a nautical release before. So this is the brooch from that, which is a seagull in a life ring. Doctor Who.
Nice. So now where do you get your inspirations when you're thinking about designs?
It kind of just, I've come to a point, I guess, because I do this every day. I'll look at something and be like, could I make that into a brooch? Would that work with acrylic jewelry? Sometimes it can come from anywhere. So I actually saw a video not long ago of a woman who was actually from America who came on holiday to Australia, and she picked up a blue ring octopus, not realizing that they were venomous. And she put like a video on her social media. And when she went back to America, it was picked up by a news station. And they interviewed her about whether she knew that she'd picked up a very deadly, dangerous animal for a photo and didn't know. So he was included in one of our recent releases.
Oh, nice. That is awesome. Now, so what are these brooches made of? Are they acrylic or?
So they're all made out of laser cut acrylics. So we have 2 laser cutters in-house. We do all the design in-house. We cut it here and we put it together. So we make them here in Sydney. They're not made overseas. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. So it's like permanent jewelry jigsaw, because each piece, I'll grab this piece because it's nice and big. So each of these different tones is a different acrylic, which is a different piece. So you've got to like jigsaw it together to make the end result. So this was from Wizard of Oz, which is Lion, Witch, and the Scarecrow.
Wow. Now the Scarecrow and the Tin Man are two different pieces, and you've got that such finely cut that you're able to snap those together. Is that right?
Yep. So the hat, his little nose, his face,
Oh,
and
even
his
down to that. Yeah. Okay.
are all one piece. With the lion, it's his bow, ears, face, nose, and mane are all different pieces. And then the Tin Man, it's his hat, his face, his collar, and his little bow tie.
Wow.
So all different pieces put together to make an end result.
Man, that is crazy. How long does it take you to create something like that?
It
Just the
depends
production part.
Yep, so it depends on the design. So when we do a design, I'll draw it and then I'll give it to Miyu, who's our co-owner, and she does all the design work. So she converts my drawings into graphics and laser cut them. And we do it in white first just to make sure everything fits. And if it fits, production can take anywhere from 5 minutes up to, or some of them are half an hour, depending on the design that they are. We have one necklace from Alice in Wonderland, which is all the characters together. And that necklace alone has, I think, 34 pieces.
Wow. Oh, man. And it costs what, $34,000? It's got to be.
So, good for all of you in America because the exchange rate works in your favor, actually. So our brooches, the way we do it is we have evergreen collections which always stay the same price and are always available. They're 45 Australian dollars each. And then when we have our main releases, as they're seasonal, after 3 months, they transition to legacy. So they become one-off makes and then they become bespoke. So they have a higher charge because it's quicker for us to make, say, 10 than it is to make a single one. So we keep them available that way. But standard when they're released, they're 45, necklaces are 60, and earrings are generally 30. And then legacy collections double after 3 months. So we like to give people a big window to get them first.
Oh, yeah, you've got this down pat, man. You've really got a business going on this thing. So you've taken your administration background and applied it into the business side of your art.
It's been really helpful having that. I've done PA work and I've done organizing events and all that sort of stuff through when I did administration. So that to a degree has definitely helped. It makes my admin side of things a lot easier to do, but I much prefer to be designing if I'm going to be honest.
Now, is it just the two of you that are in the company, or is this you got like thousands of minions back there?
Thousands. We're a small home business, so there's 4 of us that work full time. So there's myself and Miyu, who are the owners. She does more of the laser cutting, graphic design. I do more of the production, hand drawn design. So I do the start of the design, she does the middle, and then I do the end. John does our wholesale program and a lot of our marketing. And then we have a lovely employee, Brooke, who comes in full time and helps with production as well.
Wow. Very nice. That's an impressive business that you built up. And you said that you went to this full time, obviously. So how long have you been doing this?
4 years full time.
4 years.
I think 3 years before that. So 7 years total.
Wow. Yeah, that is awesome. So any other stuff that you have to show us? Because this is cool. I'm enchanted.
I have whole trays. So we do Christmas every year. We do a different Christmas globe. Even though we don't get snow in Australia. It's actually a 3D globe. So it's fully enclosed in acrylic. So if I kind of angle it, you can see.
Yeah.
And every we do a different one. So we've also done snowmen. What else have we done? We do a lot of pets because a lot of the brooch community are very crazy about their pets, which I totally understand. I'm a cat mum, so I get it. So this month,
I just heard you refer to the brooch community.
Yes, there is actually a very large brooch community, especially in Australia. We used to do a brooch event every year. I think it was twice a year, where they go to Melbourne, which is in Victoria, so we were going up the east coast. So it was Melbourne, Victoria, Sydney, New South Wales, and Queensland was in Brisbane. And it was basically like a mini convention where makers, because Australia does have most of the brooch makers in the world at the moment. So people would come out and there'd be specific makers selling at those events, and then there'd be like talks about different makers and their backgrounds and where they came from, and Q&As and that sort of thing, so people could kind of really connect with the people that make the stuff that they buy. I went to quite a lot of them as a purchaser before I transitioned into making, so it was really, really cool to do. But yeah, we're doing dogs this month, so husky.
Now, are people able to send you like a photo of their animal, and can you do custom?
We do customs. I don't have any in here, but we do a lot of custom work, especially pets, where people send us like a picture of their cat or their dog and say that they want it as a brooch. We've done I think we've done a few wall hangings as well, because we can make them larger. And we actually,
that would be a really big brooch.
Yep. So we've done, I know for a stockist in the US, we did a hot dog. Hang on, let me find it. We did a hot dog brooch.
Nice.
And she really loved it. So we did one that was like this big for her wall hanging.
Nice.
So we can do wall hangings as well, but we do a lot of custom pets.
And was she from Chicago, just by curiosity?
I'm not sure where she's based. She's not the one in Salem. I think she might be, I can't remember which one.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was from Chicago. Big hot dog town, that.
I've learned a lot on this Zoom meeting about just tiki culture in general that I didn't know about. We don't really have a huge tiki culture over here, so.
Well, and right back at you. I'm learning that there's a brooch community, a brooch culture.
Culture. There's whole groups on Facebook that are dedicated to brooches. So Chicago and hot dogs confirmed. Good.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Brisbane, home of the Saints. I'm assuming that's not the New Orleans Saints.
No, I don't know what that would be. I mean, we mostly play rugby league and rugby union over here, so.
And you have is rugby union, is that the rugby football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a very big rugby league over here as well, which is very popular. It's actually New South Wales and Queensland have their own teams, and we have State of Origin, which is when New South Wales play against Queensland, and it's the best out of 3.
Nice. Yeah, it's rugby is a very big thing, that's for sure. So do you do any brooches along the lines of sports? Does it cross into that genre?
We haven't over here, but we did a custom mascot, which was for a football team over in America, which was an Indian on a horse. And it was like the horse was rearing up. So we did a custom brooch for that person that they could wear to games. That was really cool.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So, so how, I'm assuming people go to your website, if obviously to purchase what you have. But if they're looking to say they have an idea, they'd like to have a brooch or a wall hanging, or, you could take that wall hanging like that big hot dog, and like rappers do, you could put on a big necklace and wear it around as a necklace. Could people do that?
Yep, we have a few different options. So we have customs which are called design conversions. So say we do something as a brooch and you want it as a necklace, we can do that. You want something that's earrings as a brooch, we can do that. We can take pretty much almost any idea and turn it into a design. On our website, we have a little menu item called Made for You. And in there's a form that you can submit if you're looking for a custom, but there's also one called Past Customs where you can go in and see things that we've done in the past.
Wow, absolutely incredible. That is way cool. And Sam has put your information into the chat. I think, a lot of great people love what you're doing. No, you can't see the glue lines. You can't see anything. It looked like it was all one piece just melded together. That was incredible. Because you're taking what's done machine in hand to be able to make sure that all fits exactly right.
Yep.
I mean, there's like no room for error.
Well, we've got fun ones like this one as well, which is interactive. So the little baubles move.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's like a boba tea thing.
Yeah, that's a little bubble tea with a mermaid in it.
Nice. Oh, that is awesome. That's pretty cool. So a question, what is your local tiki bar? You said that there's not much of a culture there, but
I know that we had a tiki bar in Newtown, but I'm pretty sure it closed during the COVID lockdowns. So we got hit pretty hard with lockdowns over here. We had a 4-month one in from March of 2022, and in October, November, we just came out of a 6-month lockdown that was meant to be 2 weeks. So the only one I know of off the top of my head, I know isn't there anymore. But I remember I always used to like look in the window when I go to Newtown if it was walking past it, because it had all the bamboo kind of paneling up on the walls and the bamboo posts around the tables.
yeah.
So very obviously a tiki bar, but yeah, it's the only one I can think of. I'll have to have a Google.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I would love to get to Australia. Obviously, I have been vaccinated, so I can play in the Australian Open. Um, so yeah, that would be awesome to get down there. I've only been to Australia once, and it was unfortunately only for like less than 24 hours. I had come in and was doing some other visits around the South Pacific, around Asia Pac, and the thing I remember is I don't really remember much of later in the evening. And I'm one that can hold my liquor pretty well. Australians are the only people that scare me. I will not get into a drinking anything with Australians. You guys scare me.
I'm a pretty cheap drunk. I'm a 4 drinks floozy, but my brother can go out and spend $300+ and still not be drunk.
So when you say, now see, that's the difference right there. That just exemplified it. I'm a cheap drunk. I'm a 4 drink floozy. Now, when people say that here, typically women will say that here, they're talking like they'll have 1 drink, a Cosmo, or, a small cocktail and 1 drink, and they're gone. But no, in Australia, after 4 drinks, man, that's it. I can't do anymore. You proved my point. I love it. A girl after my own heart.
I feel like cocktails are a bit classier to how we tend to drink over here. So I didn't know that wine came in bottles until I was a teenager. So
yeah. Well, and the other thing I learned is Foster's apparently is not Australian for beer. That was an American commercial. That was Foster's Australian for beer, mate. So when I'm over there, it's like, oh, you guys drink Foster's. They're like, no, we don't drink that crap. We send it to America. You guys drink it.
yeah, we drink it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Australia. Yeah. Australian Foster's, Australian for Paps. Yeah, you've got that right. All right. So that is awesome. I love seeing your stuff. Keep up the good work. Is there anything you can talk about coming down the pipe that give us a sneak preview or sneak talk to?
We actually have a little Shop of Horrors collection coming out next month. So that's got Audrey 2 in it, all the characters, the dentist. The earrings are actually pretty cool. They're Audrey's head. So they look really, really cool. I'm really excited about them. I drew them over Christmas and I've been itching to that's probably the hardest part. You design something and then you can't tell anyone until it's close to the release date. So excited. So
well, we'll keep it quiet here. We won't tell anybody, and all the YouTube followers you're watching on YouTube, shh, don't say anything. Yeah, we'll keep it quiet. We'll keep your secret for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Danielle. And happy Wednesday to you, because it's your Wednesday morning, right?
2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Oh, in the afternoon. Oh, wow. Way later.
So I'm officially in the future.
Yes. And I was going to say, so the world is still alive tomorrow. Okay, good. Glad to know that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Absolutely fantastic work. I can't wait I got to go check that out. I've already got ideas brewing for some different kind of hat pins. I would do hat pins. Yeah. So that would be awesome.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you. All right. So now we are going to go into our Makani Marketplace. Now that we've been we've gone all around the world, and almost back again. We're heading back. Our next stop in the Makani Marketplace, we are going to go to Gutter Goods, Ed Gutter. Let me see if, let me find Ed here. And there he is. I see Ed. If you can go ahead and unmute, I'm going to bring you to the front.
All right.
All right. Ed Gutter, Gutter Goods. How are you, man?
Good, good. How you doing? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Cool.
So you are coming to us from Whittier, California. So we've come all the way back from Australia. Now we're up in Southern California, and we're here to talk about you and Gutter Goods.
Yeah. So basically, Ed Gutter, I'm an artist. Been drawing since I was like in second grade, I think. And then Gutter Goods is just my clothing brand that I do. And now I'm doing more art, just trying to make more different products with that. So yeah.
And do you have some of the art to show us tonight?
Yeah, there's a couple prints that I got right now. Here's one of a native. I call this one. This is the Cloud Woman. There's like a myth story behind this. What else?
Can you give us the brief story behind that?
You know what? I kind of forgot. I tried to brush up on it, but I did my research and everything before I drew it because I had heard like that name before, right? And as I was drawing it, I started drawing the clouds, and I remember this kind of like the name of it, you know. So I researched it, and I kind of like quick little brief research, but I ended up forgetting. I was trying to look it up earlier today, but I couldn't find it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, so yeah, I'll let you go with some other stuff here.
And then of course the famous praying hands. It's pretty much a big thing out here in Los Angeles, especially with like the Chicano, Hispanic culture. Everyone gets tattoos of it and stuff. You can see it on murals on the walls and stuff.
Vatos who Tiki have it on their shirt.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And then I got, what else? So there's like a little flip that I did on the Kool-Aid Man. I just made a 40-ounce bottle out of it.
Oh, well, you see, I'm partial. There we go. I'm partial. Where the hell is he? There he is. I'm partial to this guy, the Hawaiian. That is nice. I like that.
Yeah, so there's a couple prints that I got right now for sale. Get them on my website right there. Let me get my bio on my Instagram.
Yeah, so we've got you on your Instagram. So talk to us a little bit about where this style comes from, and where does your inspiration, where does this come from?
Oh shoot, man! Like a lot of comic books. Mm-hmm. I've always liked the way they were just printed, just the way the black ink looked real rough, and then you got all the half tones in there, all the little dots, and that's always been something that like always caught my eye. Like what's his name from Japan? Rocket Jelly Bean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So when I first got introduced in his style, I was like, wow, this guy's really dope. I want to do stuff like that. Like I really like that look. So I started, doing more research and just trying to figure out how to do the half tones, how to, just incorporate my own style coming from like a lawyer background and just like different types of art because my mom and dad, they were really big into that with the whole Aztec culture and things. So we've always had like different decor in our house and just different styles of art. With my grandpa being, he used to do jewelry, he used to do silver. So he would do stuff for the Vatican, for the Pope. And my grandma told me all these stories about him. And they would do a lot of stuff for like charros, which is kind of like, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's like mariachi. Mariachi, they do all their jewelry for them. So that's the style that they got. So I was always raised around different types of art. But
yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like you have a very artistic family.
Oh yeah, pretty much. One of my oldest brother used to paint cars and bikes, so he was all into that, the metal flake and all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, because of my dad, we got into lowriding. So going to car shows, you see all the cars, they have like murals on them. They got the pinstriping and all that. And then as growing up, we ended up finding out about the hot rod scene, and there's a lot of similarities in the way you do the pinstriping and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I do see the symmetry between those, and it's a beautiful art.
Yeah.
painting the cars and absolutely love it. And the pinstriping. Yeah, I have we have Carbon Tiki who's on here. He does some, he's into the pinstriping scene as well. And
Nice.
I wanted to get my e-bike pinstriped, make it look a little bit more cool, you know.
Yeah.
But there aren't many pinstripers in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we might be a little light on those. So how did you go from that then, doing this painting and that family that you have with all that art? You now are doing, I see your shirt that you're wearing, Gutter Goods, you're doing apparel as well. How did that transition happen or addition happen?
Well, it started, I would say maybe like around 2000, like I was right out of high school. And at the time, I couldn't really find too much clothes that I liked to wear. I kind of just had to buy what was out there. And I know too much about like the streetwear scene and all that. I didn't catch on to that till like about like early 2000, 2001. So we, my friends, were like, fuck it, let's just make something that we like to wear. Let's put whatever we want, whatever imagery we want to wear. So one of my friends worked for a company called Fortune Fashions, which is in downtown LA, and they printed everything for like Disney and Walmart, just like huge accounts like that. So he was a graphic designer there. So he knew the inks to use, where to get stuff. And so he kind of like led the way and kind of just told me, here, this is what I got. Here's all the contacts. Call them up, tell them I sent you, and we'll get it going. And that's how I got into my introduction to like doing screen printed t-shirts.
Well, and you've got some really cool stuff, and I've got your website here. I'm gonna pull that up because I want you to talk about some of the clothing that you have that you've designed. So if you can talk a little bit about what's that inspiration, because obviously you're not wearing this. So I know you said it's stuff I like to wear, but I don't think you're wearing that.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that makes it happen is kind of like the thing where it's like, just get up and do things, do what you want to do,
Yeah.
Just make it happen, make things, accomplish your goals. That's what that refers to.
Very nice. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And everything is made here in Southern, or made there in Southern California, here in the US.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great line that you have. It looks like you've got your prints are available on here as well. There's your cloud woman that we see here. Kool-Aid, like that.
Yeah.
And the hip hop cloud LA, I like that one. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that one is more for like the hip hop producers. So you can see in there's like, you got the MPC, the turntable, boombox, kind of just stuff that producers use to sample beats and make them. And that's like the LA edition. I'm also gonna make a Detroit one and a New York one, Houston, just different areas where producers are from. All
right. Well, is there gonna be an Indianapolis one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And so yeah, you've got this nice bundle of all of them. That's really cool. I really do like the cloud woman. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I'll send you one.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, you've got some really cool stuff, and you're putting it on. Are you putting any of these onto clothing or any other kind of merch?
Not yet. I mean, if people start asking me more for them, then yeah, eventually we'll put it on a t-shirt. But as of now, just prints for now.
I like this shirt. Fuck you, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a time when like clients weren't, because I do graphic design. I freelance, so it was a time when people weren't paying on time, or they were just taking their time to pay me. So, out of frustration, that came out.
That is very real world stuff, man. Believe me, man. I understand that. For somebody who has their own business, I can understand that frustration for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We've got your info in the chat, guttergoods.net. Some really cool stuff. People love the Wu-Tang in the background, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
We had somebody last week that was on, and a sign above her head said, don't feed drugs to the horse.
Oh shit.
It's like, wow, that's a pretty cool sign. And people are commenting on the sign. And
Yeah.
she forgot that it was there. She says, oh, it was my dad's sign. It's like, okay, that's even cooler.
Right? I seen before said, don't feed the strippers.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All
thank you
right,
for
well,
having me.
thank you very much, Ed, for coming on. Real cool stuff. You know, it's like I used to live in Southern California,
Oh, yeah?
so it would have been cool. Yeah, I moved actually to Indy last fall.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I'm adjusting to the culture here, trying to find it and
The
you know, all
weather.
of that. What's that?
The weather.
Oh, weather. Yeah. Ooh, man. Very cold, very cold. It was wind chill down to 10 degrees today, and I don't even know what we're at now. But yeah, it's ugly. It's been a while since I've been in this kind of temperature. Oh, yes. Hey, there we go. It is officially 8 degrees. And like 8, all 8. You can count the degrees on less than 2 hands. But it feels like -5. So yeah, that's how I'm doing.
Damn.
I'm just chilling like a villain.
Right, literally. Shoot, I could barely handle 60 degrees, man.
Tell me about it. That's what I got used to when I was living in Southern California for so long. I'm not used to this kind of stuff. Man,
Yeah.
-5. Holy cow. Thanks for making me look that up. I appreciate that, Ed. Now I'm even colder.
No problem.
All right. Thanks for joining us, dude.
You got it.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. So now we have in let's see. I think we have let me go to Rick Fisher, Sik Rik Masks. Oh, there he is, right smack dab front and center. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm
Yes,
going to bring
sir.
you into the picture. How are you doing, man?
Oh, pretty cold. Much like yourself.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of snow over here.
Yeah, you guys got a lot more snow than we did. We got like less than 2 inches and it's all gone. So I think
Yeah,
just
I was
over.
shoveling, broke my back shoveling, and then after I break my back shoveling, gotta go down the creepy basement and paint up masks for the rest of the day. So it's been a trying experience on my back, but we're getting through it.
Well, I was glad to see in this day and age that it wasn't, more COVID masks. Although I guess you could wear these as COVID masks.
I guess you could
Put a little filter inside the opening. Yeah.
It's kind of a shame because the latex mask business is like a whole other thing. And after COVID hit, everyone just assumed that I made COVID masks, and I really have zero interest in making COVID masks. So
yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine. So yeah, talk to us about your masks.
All right. Well, I do. My business is kind of split into 2 sections. I have a true crime section where I sculpt and release the likeness of the infamous criminals of history and serial killers and such. And then my other side is music related. So for the music business, I will get a license to recreate a famous character, a logo, a likeness of somebody from a particular music related project, and then we will sell them on their merch site or sometimes on my website. But yeah, so it's cool, man. I just make sculptures and then make molds of the sculptures and then pour liquid latex and then trim them and paint them. Actually, these ones here, I'll take you on a little tour if you
I was gonna say, got to see some of these.
These are whenever I do a project.
Oh, we lost you there. I think you might be covering the microphone. Nope, we can't hear you. Are you covering the microphone?
I have no idea what the microphone is.
There. Well, you just uncovered it.
All right, can you hear me now?
A little bit, yeah.
Let's try it this way. Better? Worse?
A little bit worse. You're on a laptop, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell the microphone is on this.
Yeah, when you're right in front of it, it's perfect.
All right. Well, we'll do it this way then. So, all right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Boogie Boy. Boogie Boy is the infantile spirit of de-evolution, and he was made popular by the de-evolution band Devo from Akron, Ohio. And
yeah.
So I make all the Boogie Boy masks that Mark wears on stage, as well as the ones that we sell on their merch site. And so that's Boogie Boy. That was the first Boogie Boy I made.
Nice.
On that poster from,
Oh, we're losing you a little bit again.
there was a live movie that was made, and they used that my mask for the movie poster. And so there's the one for our friend in Australia. When Devo played in Australia and in New Zealand, that was the mask that Mark wore on stage. So he signed it for me. You can kind of see, he said,
Wow.
thank you for giving me head again. And then
I like that.
This is Gigi Allen. He was probably the first big design I ever did. So all the guys that are still alive from the Murder Junkies signed that one for me. And then this is Venom's black metal. I do a lot of metal and punk rock stuff primarily, but this was a famous album by a band called Venom. And I got to hang out with them at the Maryland Death Festival, and they signed that for me. And then down here is Teenage Bottle Rocket. They all signed that one for me. And then the guys in Seether commissioned me to do a sculpture of their last album. So that's that stuff. And then I figured while we were at it, I'll take you down to the creepy basement, and you can see kind of how all this goes down.
Now don't fall down the stairs. You're walking down backwards. Don't fall down the stairs.
I'll try not to, but I fall down a lot. So when I come home from the Tiki Underground, I'm falling down the stairs.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Actually, I have been to the Tiki Underground a couple of times. Sometimes people who collect my artwork will come to visit, and I want to take them to cool places. So I have definitely taken some folks over there. But all right, so as far as Tiki stuff goes, I don't have too much Tiki stuff, but the Psychobilly, the Cramps are
Yep.
a Psychobilly band that, let me see if I can get down. We did this release. The guy who drew this illustration, Stephen Blickenstaff, gave me permission to do that character. So we've been selling that for the past few years. In fact, we were just, my buddy who helps me down here, he and I were just touching a few of those up to get those shipped out. And then this is my
now
Pogo.
when you're doing these, what's the process? Are you sculpting something and then latex around it, or how does this work?
Well, it starts with a sculpture. This is my new one I'm working on right now. This is Jeffrey Dahmer over here. See if I can get him in the picture. There he is. There's Dahmer. He's still a work in progress, but so he will, that thing over my shoulder there, that will be made into a mold. In fact, here's some molds. This is my high-tech drying station.
Nice.
I poured earlier today. But yeah, once the sculpture is completed, I make a 2-piece mold, and then I pry it apart. They're made of stone mold. And you pour latex in there, slush it around, let it dry, and then you peel them out, and they look like these guys here. There's a band called Mr. Bungle that I make masks for.
Wow. Oops, yeah, we lost you again there.
Sorry, they'll be those will be, all these on this table here that are not painted are the ones that are due up that I'll be painting in the next week or so. And then, well, here's some Boogie Boys back there. I started having a factory help me create some of my bigger selling designs just because I can't keep up with the demand. So like I did this Motorhead and Iron Maiden down there for a larger company that does all the replications, but I do like the actual sculptures and prototypes so that their factory people know.
So now how you're obviously doing a lot of this for a lot of really cool bands. How is it that you made this connection? I mean, obviously Devo, they're in Akron, even there, how did you get these connections to do this?
Well, the Devo thing was kind of weird because I'm actually pretty good friends with Mark's sister, but I wasn't at the time. There was a band called Anti-Scene who Jeff Clayton and Anti-Scene used to do shows with Gigi Allen, and I did a mask for Jeff Clayton. Then I saw him post something on social media one time of him hanging out with this crazy motherfucker in this like Devo museum kind of thing. And I was like, this is something I need to learn more about. So it turns out it was Michael Pilmer's house. He's the guy who's kind of like my contact with Devo. And so I reached out to him and I said, hey, I want to do this Mark Mothersbaugh sculpture. And he was like, let's not do that. Let's do Boogie Boy. So that's how it went down. So I sculpted it and they approved the sculpture, and then we started making them. And because all the original ones were destroyed, Mark didn't take very good care of them. And they just put them in a little Tupperware, like a tote, and they got dry rotted, and so he didn't have the use of any of the original ones. So I just went by some pictures and sculpted, and that's how it all came to be. And then from there, it's just like, as you do, the more you do, the more you do, so people like the guys in Seether reached out to me, and this is crazy. Those guys are from Africa, South Africa, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the guy who did their album cover, the painting, was a guy from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And then their merch company guy reached out to me, and he was like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm actually in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. I say Akron, but I'm actually in Cuyahoga Falls. And he was like, oh shit, the guy who does that illustration is from there. So it's like this band from Africa has two guys from Cuyahoga Falls doing artwork for him. So that was kind of funky.
Nice.
But yeah, so
and one of the questions is I'm afraid to ask if the smears on the Gigi Allen mask are authentic from the one you have.
No, we don't use any body fluids in the masks. However, I do have a drumstick from Dino, and he's done some fucked up shit with that drumstick. So
you wear rubber gloves when you handle that drumstick?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't handle it. It just kind of sets up in here. I'm sure it's slippery if you touched it, but that's it right there. The Dino Sex drumstick.
All right.
But I made this was kind of a fun one. There's a death metal band from Chicago called Macabre, and all of their songs are about true crime subjects. And so when they do a song about Ed Gein, they wear my Ed Gein mask, like one of their roadies or somebody runs out on stage and has a shovel or whatever. And then Ted Bundy, they wear the Ted Bundy mask, and so on and so forth. So their logo for their Holiday of Horrors was Albert Fish with devil horns. So I took my Albert Fish mask and put devil horns on him and a Santa hat, and then they all signed that for me at the Chicago show. So that was kind of fun. And then I have a tattoo of a skull, and I like it quite a bit. And so I replicated my tattoo into a mask over here.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's just kind of whatever I feel like doing. It seems like over the years of doing this, you build up a following of people that like what you do, and they kind of buy. They're on the same wavelength, you know, that I am. So if I think it's cool, usually they think it's cool too. So there's some folks that just buy everything I make, you know, that they're collectors. So I think that's pretty cool to have a group of people that help support the movement, you know.
Well, that is way cool. So how do we have your website in the chat so people are able to just go on and order some of these? What's the best way for them to?
Yeah, if you just want the standard stuff, you can go to my website. I don't do custom orders, but I do alternate paint jobs. So if you wanted, let's say, a zombie version of Richard Ramirez, which I do, a Night Stalker mask, then you would like kind of email me or reach out to me on social media. I mean, I'm pretty easy to find. So if you follow me on any of the platforms, just shoot me a message or go to my website, send me an email. But for just the simple stuff, just the regular color or black and white versions of the standards, there's PayPal buttons on my website. You can just click them, and then I kind of make them to order. I mean, I know what sells more than others, so I try to keep the bigger selling things in stock, but that's easier said than done. So, but I get stuff turned around pretty quickly. So,
well, phenomenal work. I mean, I don't even begin to understand how you get to doing what brought you into latex, the world of latex.
I was living in Austin, Texas, and I was stumbling home one night, and there was this flyer stuck to one of the storefronts. Said, "Hey, learn how to make Halloween masks." And I was like, "All right, I'll show up and check this out." So I hit it off with the instructor, and she and I started dating for a little while. And so I spent a lot of time in her studio, and then I just hung around and helped people with little, you know, because people are taking the class, they want to do it, but they don't know like you want to make a werewolf, but you don't understand anatomically what makes a werewolf, you know. So I just kind of lended a hand, my sculpting hand, to some of the classes and stuff. And so when that relationship ended and that whole part of my life ended, I moved back to Ohio, and I realized that one of the biggest suppliers of all this stuff is in Cleveland. So it's really cheap for me. I don't have to pay shipping. You know, I just drive up to them and pick up, you know, 30 gallons of latex and UltraCal and, you know, all the stuff you need to do this. I just drive up there and pick it up and then drive it back home. So that's very convenient. And so that's just, you know, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, 10 years very seriously, but probably 20 plus years dabbling. But now it's like it takes up quite a bit of my time, and so I'm either sculpting or painting something up, shipping something out. You know, I kind of do the whole thing. I do have a buddy who helps me a little bit when I get super busy, but you know, he's got his own stuff to do too, so it's not like I have him every day, 2 days a week, 3 days a week at tops, but the rest of the time it's just me doing everything.
Well, incredible work. And there's a lot of comments in the chat if you haven't seen those. Yeah, somebody's looking for that. They want that cramps mask. And then
well, I got him. I know the guy that makes them.
Yeah. There you go. We got to get to Tiki Underground. Apparently, Tim wants to hang.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there was this filmmaker that came here to get some pickup footage for a documentary he's making about Gacy. And when he came here this past summer, we went to the Tiki Underground. There's like 3 or 4 places that I think are more interesting than the average Akron places. So whenever a collector comes to visit, or you know, somebody like this filmmaker guy, or there's some of these, you know, other mask makers, or this human blood painter that I know. He's really out there, Cat. And, you know, he's
Really?
the kind of,
A human blood painter is really out there.
yeah. Well, he's a tattoo artist and a human blood painter. And he and I collaborated because he had some of Charles Manson's cremated remains. And
Okay.
so he brought them to me, and I took my Charles Manson mask and we put some of those ashes in the eyes. And then the guys at TMZ, you know, totally villainized us. And, you know, I don't know how much you know about TMZ followers, but they aren't the brightest fucking group of people. And they just blasted us. I mean, you would think that I killed somebody. And all I did was take the dude's ashes and put them in some mask eyeballs, you know. But you know, whatever. That's a story for another day. But I will say this, yeah, the Tiki Underground. I'm looking forward to going to the new location. I know just where it is. I live on Sackett, and the Tiki Underground, I believe, is on the corner of Sackett and Front Street, maybe, or maybe a block off. So it's going to be sweet. It's going to be nice.
Front Street, Tim says. So
yeah, Front Street. But isn't it Front Street and Sackett? Isn't it the old Hunts building, right? I think that's where it is.
That is correct.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to, and
that's like my Ed McMahon. You are correct, sir.
Well, that little area has really grown a lot over the past 10 years. So it'll be a great location for you for sure. And I'll look forward to coming out and supporting, brother.
Well, I can't believe how many times we're referencing Manson and Dahmer, and I never thought my show would be talking about this stuff, but it's really cool what you're doing.
You know, it's funny you say that, because my friend who assists me, I told him when we were painting those up today, I'm like, let's get a couple of these psychobillies touched up so I can have something to show these guys. He goes, so it's like a tiki thing? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, and they want you on there. And I was like, oh, because they're fucking cool, I guess. I don't know. So so serial killers and punk rock stuff. That's what I do. And
yep, the punk rock is definitely tiki. There are a lot of people into tiki. In fact, that's where they go. Punk rockers go to tiki to die, because you see a lot of punk rockers at Tiki Oasis, either performing or just, you know, people that were doing that prior in life. Now they're into tiki. So yeah, those cultures go together. The custom car culture, and apparently the brooch culture, which I never knew there was a brooch culture until this evening. So yeah,
forget the psychobillies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, psychobillies. Yes, as a matter of fact, I heard a German psychobilly band at the Tiki bar, Otto's Shrunken Head in New York. And one must always use air quotes when you're talking about Otto's Shrunken Head as a tiki bar.
You know, I've heard of that place, but I don't believe I've ever been. But I know somebody told me. Where did you say that is again?
That's in New York City.
Okay.
Otto's Shrunken Head.
Yeah, because I was in Brooklyn not too long. Well, at the beginning of the pandemic, right before everything went to hell. I was in Brooklyn, and that must have been when somebody told me to go check that. Yeah, because they're on Coney Island, right?
No, they're in Manhattan. I don't know where, like lower Manhattan. I want to say around 22nd or somewhere around there. I know Lucchini's on here. He might be able at 14th. See, I was close. I was pretty close. I was only 8 blocks away.
Do they have like an alternate location near Coney Island, maybe?
No, I think that's
I don't know. I was probably dropping acid that day.
It could be, which would explain some of the mask designs that we're seeing. I see that. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And you're tiki adjacent, dude. We are into all kinds of cultures, and certainly that punk rock and monsters and all of that stuff fits 100%. So thanks for joining, and love your stuff. Awesome.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick check around the room because Scott Hensey, I don't think made it this evening. Does not look like it. So we will work to have him back at another point. Sorry about that. Now we're going to bring in Sam. Oh, I should have left my my gallery view up. Sam, did Sam disappear? Oh, there she is.
No, I'm here. Aloha, Jeff.
How are you?
I'm having a great time. That was so much fun getting to check out Rick's house and seeing all those cool masks.
Okay, are you wearing a Glendora brooch from our guest this evening?
The Endora, yes.
Or Endora, yeah, sorry. I was thinking of the
other witch.
the song Glendora. So how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Great lineup again tonight. And again, this one of the things I absolutely love that this show's kind of transpired to is that we get people from literally around the world, whether it's Australia or Paris or Canada or Brazil, Argentina. I mean, we get people from everywhere, or Cleveland. You know, we get them from everywhere. So great job hunting everybody down.
Yeah, everyone was so wonderful. Tonga Tim made a great cocktail. Anthony was great on the ukulele, making us all jealous wishing we were in Hawaii. And then
But
I'm just a big fan of Danielle and
that
Daisy.
that dude rocked. He was one of the people out of all the shows we've done so far. He's one of them that's like, oh my gosh, this is really kick-ass, and had never heard it before. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, even Lono told me that he saw him a while ago and thought he was wonderful. And if Lono thought he was good, you know he's good.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was surprising. He kind of reminded me of that German group that we had. Let me say it this way: I had the same surprise when he started cranking that I had when that German group came on and started cranking hard rock on the ukulele. That was really good. That was another good group. So
It was.
so all right. So who do we have next week?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Disneyland and we're gonna stop by Trader Sam's and we're gonna have Christian Diaz, Skipper Christian, as our guest mixologist. He's gonna be pouring up a jungle bird. So I'll be sending out that recipe shortly. And then our featured guest for the night is gonna be Mitchell Spain Ceramics.
All right. Is it Mitchell Spain? Is he from Spain, or is that just his last name?
That's just his last name.
So-
We're not traveling anywhere.
So now we have to see if he's related to Aaron, because Aaron may be stalking us again. I'm just saying.
I'm sure they know each other.
They may.
I'm just-
So yeah, so thank you very much. Great show. Looking forward to next week. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, oh my gosh, I see here in the chat you put Tuesday is February 1st. What? It's already February.
I know. Can't believe it.
Well, that's all right, because I'm anxiously awaiting that March 22nd date. That's going to be a very super special show. It's not our 2-year anniversary. It's even bigger than that. It's Jeff's in his brand new house show, because that's the day we close and we'll be in the house. So yeah, I don't know where I'll be broadcasting from, but we're going to be there. We'll be in the house. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that show. But yeah, so I want to get soon. I want to get to that March timeframe, but still I'm in shock. It's already February. That's amazing to me.
Well, that's really exciting news, Jeff.
Well, yeah, thanks. I'm sure everybody's gonna be glad to hear about me whining about my stuff's in storage and I don't have my house yet. Yeah, they're gonna be happy that I'm done talking about that. So
Never. Yeah. We're always happy.
all right. So thank you, Sam. As always, love the work that you do. Great job. Another great lineup tonight. And I'm looking forward to what we have next week.
Awesome. Me too, Jeff.
All right. And that does it for tonight's episode. We were everywhere. We started out in Cleveland. We went to LA, or went to Hawaii, went to Australia. We went to LA, went back to Cleveland. We're all around the place. That's what this show does. you won't find another marketplace like this, because we put it together specifically to do things like this, bring the community together, and in a virtual way that is the only way that can happen. We can meet everybody and hear somebody in Hawaii and talk with people in Cleveland and talk with people tomorrow in Australia. So yeah, love the fact that we have such great guests, and love the fact that you guys are back every week. We'll be putting this out onto YouTube, so do take a look for that. Make sure to check our YouTube page. It's really cool, exciting news. This week, we actually got our own URL for YouTube. So it is youtube.com/C. That's what they do. I think it must stand for channel /Tiki Trail. So very easy to find it, youtube.com/C/Tiki Trail. So yeah, you can check out all the videos, and we're getting more and more videos posted up there. We'll get this week's up, and I'm working on getting video from the archives. So we'll have more out there. And we've had some great guests over this last number of, Sam and I were on a meeting earlier tonight. We were going through our guest list all the way back to 2 years ago, and just marveled at the people that came on. So we want to get some of those videos out there, and hey, you may see some of those guests coming back over the next few weeks as we march to 100. Just a little, get it? March 100. That's because our 100th show is going to be in March. So yeah. All right. I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to close out this show so we can get to the after show and hang out and chat. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Mahalo for joining us. Mahalo for watching. But please do come join us, 6 o'clock Pacific every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, again, every Tuesday night. And we're here, and we always have a great time, and you get a chance to actually engage, and you can ask the guests questions. That's why we do it on this Zoom platform. So it gives people an opportunity to speak up and ask questions in real time. So definitely appreciate you guys watching. All of the guests tonight, mahalo, thank you. You guys are the ones that help make this show. So love having you guys on. And so for another week, Jeff Ballard signing off here on the Tiki Trail. Thank you, mahalo, and aloha.
Tiki Trail Live.